Mods are here for Farm Sim 25 with 36 mods released on the in-game mod up to date. All platforms got 21 new and 1 update, and PC Mac players got 11 new and 3 updates. If you like staying updated with all the latest mods of Farm Sim, get subscribed and let's check them out. Before we jump into today's new mods, wanted to show you the mod waiting times for newly submitted mods. It is 19 workday, almost 4 weeks. For submitted mod updates, it is 1 workday, so if you submitted today, should go into testing back tomorrow, and for failed and resubmitted mods, it is about 1 week long at 5 work days. Starting off today, we've got a couple new maps for all platforms. The first one is the Matopiba Map 2K25. This may sound familiar because we've actually seen this map before. As you can tell, there are some really massive fields on this map. It's not quite flat, but it's not quite hilly either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. Rounded? Yeah, maybe rounded is the word to use there. It's based off of a few different areas that I can't pronounce. They are
Maranhão, Tocantins, Piauí, Bahia.
And there you go. And for some reason, the English translation is
Bahia, Bahia, Bahia.
Oi, oi, oi. So over here, you've got all kinds of stuff. These are some really massive, massive fields. I mean, they are properly large. Over here, 65 acres, that's $1.5 million. You got over here 64 acres as well, so a little bit differently sized. Some bigger ones, smaller ones, different shapes. Pretty much all of them are squared off except for a few. And then you've got a lot of grass area too. So there are some other areas that you could buy that are not just, well, not just big old plots of land. You've got some big grass areas too. I will tell you this, the map feels a lot smaller from up high. However, down low, it just feels endless. I don't know any other way to describe it. Look how large this grass is. Goodness gracious. Oh, I'm stuck in the long grass. The velociraptors are gonna get me. As we mentioned, here is your PDA. Here's what you get in new farmer mode. You've got your field up here. And that is about that. I believe we've got some sorghum in there, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there was some sorghum in here. I am mistaken. I apologize. This is black bean, and it is new for this map. Very cool. All right. Anything else hiding in here that I didn't know about? Nope, that is the only one. So black bean is the only crop that's hiding. Weirdly enough, though, it says it's black bean, but it's the color of sorghum or potatoes, something around there. It is definitely not this bright purple, but it says it's black bean and it's growing in rows. So hey, you gotta give it to it, don't you? There you go. Here is around your main farm area. We've also got the shop over here. Say the main farm area. I'm pretty sure over here, maybe? Is there even a main farm? It doesn't really seem like it. Maybe over here? No, it seems like all of our equipment is just kind of spread around elsewhere. This is the farmhouse. So I guess this is our main farm right here. Let's jump down and let's see if we can get inside these buildings, see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. So there you go. We do have our header trailer, which is in here. We've got a place to change clothes as well inside. And around towards the side, we've got a sleepy time trigger, but no, like, house, no interior of a house. And this part does not open either, so heads up there. Jumping in to take a look at what we've got. Here is your growth calendar, so that should help you out a little bit. And you can also see the planting and harvesting of black bean. So it's interesting. You can plant it in, what is that? September, October, November, or in March, and then you can harvest in July, August, or September. Black beans are pretty easy to manage. You can either use a seeder or a planter. You don't have to pick which one. You can use either one. And to harvest, you just use a normal grain header. You can take a look at the corn heads here. They do not work. They shouldn't anyway. As for animals, there's at least no animals on the land that you own in the map. You do have 0 owned productions, but there are 2 on the map. We've got a BGA and your sawmill. And here's the full list of vehicles that you get. It is pretty straightforward, just like the American base game map. And if that's not your cup of tea, well, there is another map released today. This one is HermannsHausen. This is based on the original Polish map that they say, or the original Poland map. It is fictitious, however, there are some productions that can be purchased and things like that. I guess it's not a really however, it's an and. If you see any stopping or anything like that too, like stuff's kind of loading in. There's a lot of textures that I don't have preloaded on this map, so it just is what it is. I will say it does have a few things like you've seen from some of the other maps, especially Zielonka, because, well, that's a Polish style map. Anyway, Central European is Polish. And then you've got really interesting setups for fields. Fairly simple, but really interesting. Let's see, map border not enterable. I like how they put that, that's great. Taking a look at what we get in New Farmer mode. You do get some of these smaller fields here, and it does look like you cannot buy the outside of the map or nothing like that, so it might make things difficult for plowing fields together. For example, if you've got 41 right here, it's going to be, I guess, impossible to plow this up with some of the other fields because you can't buy the area in between them. So it would be nice to see that in a future update. Just kind of makes things easier for all players. So just a helpful hand there. Here is your crop calendar if you need to see that. Pretty standard, all things considered. We do have a chicken coop, a cow barn, and a sheep barn that are on the map itself, so that is very nice. We do have 2 owned productions, the large tarp greenhouse, that's pretty nice, and then there's quite a few that are available as well. And lastly, we can take a look here and see all of the things that are available to us in New Farmer mode, and it is a wide range of machinery. Really cool to see some variety. That's awesome. All right, that's it for maps, so let's talk about mods now. The first one is the Lizard Golf Cart. Oh yeah, 48 horsepower on here. You got 40 mile per hour max speed, and it's got a CVT transmission. As far as your wheel setups, we do have the standard sets that we have with the pickup trucks in the game, and then you got a main, design, and rim color. The design is the seats. This is a electric vehicle, so whenever you get it moving, you will experience the electric feeling. Oh yeah. However, we'll say there's really not much that you could do with it. There's no animations or anything like that, but you do have a fun first-person view, though. Next, we've got the Transport Trailer 19M and the, holy cow, 25M. That's a 25-meter-long trailer. Goodness gracious. Both these are going to have the same customization option, so we'll check out the larger version. This one has wheel brands from Lizard. If I can swing all the way back here. We've also got a Continental set and the Randon set. So pretty cool through there. We have auxiliary shoes, which are going to be stabilizers. That's kind of nice to see. Cutting bar support at the front. You've got a cutting bar of 30 feet, 45, 60. And then you've got one for sugarcane or nada. So these are going to be very, very helpful, especially if you're moving a combine harvester from point A to point B. It's actually really nice. You just pull the combine harvester right up onto this trailer, and the header will actually be sideways. You just put it on there and then back up a little bit, and then just spin around. It's kind of neat. Floors and expansions, you do have a rail setup, metal floor, wood beams, and then you've got kind of like an oversized extension with the wooden boards there. Ramp extensions can be yes or no down towards the end. Different setups for the body. You have ramp warning signs around towards the back, tractor triangle, rear lamps, which is your rear tail lights. You've also got a setup for round. Aha, yeah, right there on your wheels. Got it. Disassembled tires around towards the front, which is pretty cool. Do not put those on there if you are going to have the cutter bar support, though. Otherwise, it's just going to be all up and away. And then you've got an oversized plate, side flags, which can be added, attachers. So you have no, and you also have the attacher trailer around towards the very back. Maybe you're pulling a header trailer or pulling a header with a trailer attachment. I don't know. Bumper models, you do have some of those as well around towards the back. And then finally, main color, chassis color, cutter bar support color, bumper, ramp, and rim color. So I've got a quick little setup here. We've gone for a fully customized trailer. I do not have the stabilizers down, although probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. We did go for the 45-foot support, but I think maybe my header might be just a teeny tad bit too long. Oh boy. Well, this will be fun to kind of take a look and see. So we will attach that there, which is nice to see. And hopefully we're able to move the header up and down. And it looks like, yes, we can do that, which is really interesting. You've got like a full setup here where it's like you can control it. I think that's neat. I think it's pretty cool. So we'll take the header and fold it up and maybe push it backwards a little bit too, just to kind of keep it out of the way of the truck. You can do that. There you go. And then as far as the combine harvester itself, maybe we could get that up here, maybe about right there, hopefully. And then take the rear things up and bring them. Oh boy. There we go. All right, it worked. Strap everything down. And we're off. And there you go. Little, you know, little difficult here and there, but you can do it. Now I know what you're thinking. DJ, I mean, come on. Will it hold the Nexat? It's a long trailer, man. Well, if I can try to keep this thing up on air, you know, maybe indeed. Actually, not just maybe. Yes, indeed. Bring it up. Strap it down. Yep, it works. Now, this is not the only trailer that we've got today, because we also have the Loader Galtrailer. This is from Hispano-Monic. We actually showed this off a little bit, but it's been a couple months, to be fair. On here, we've got protectors, top closure. You've also got decal colors of blue and white, beacon lights of white and orange around towards the back. You can put extensions on there, which I highly recommend. You've got hitch for a truck or a tractor around towards the front there. You can add a rear hitch if you would like. It does have gooseneck ramps, which are pretty important. And then you've got a US or EU version. You've also got colors for main, design, and rim color. It may not be as long as the other one, but is a very nice trailer. Our next one is a cultivator. This is the Lizard 9 Tines. 90 horsepower is required, 2.4 meter working width, 9 miles an hour, and you do have multiple different colors. Now this is orange, but for some reason it is lime green, which is really interesting. And then it looks like the rest of them are exactly the way they're supposed to be. So that is not orange on there. I wonder what's going on. Is that just me? Hey, let me know. How's about this guy, the multi-loader Bale King? This is Mac Trucker 921 mod right here. So this has been modified from the one that we've seen in the base game. So they've added many different color options to choose from for the bell spikes and grabbers. They've added the Manitou wheel loader skid steer and telehandler connection configurations as well, so you can add along towards those, and adjusted the speed of the jaws closing animation. So that is very nice to see. But again, we've got all the colors of the rainbow, including green 2, and yes, green 2 is toothpaste tractor. Let's go! Now let's jump over to some placeables today. The first one is the all-in-one production from the Lort. This is a production where you can produce all-in-one things. So I think all-in-one, they mean everything. Quite literally, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. You got a barley flour, you've also got bread from flour, bread from rice flour, bottled buffalo milk, mozzarella, all your butters, different cake, oils, carton rolls. So we've got logging products here as well, different cereals, cheese, chocolate cloves, fabric, furniture. It's all there. Even a bunch of different sugar too. So if you were looking for something like that, definitely go for it. It is 1 million liter capacity in and 1 million liter capacity going out. So heads up through there. If we take a look, I am curious. Let's see, maybe just barley flour. Take a look at that. 30 barley in, 22 flour out. It's not too bad. Next from Omatana, the small farm production. So this is very similar to, I guess, the all-in-one, but Omatana's own take on it, and I love it. So these are going to be pretty standard to the 4 fields map, actually, that I'm on right now, showing this these things off. You've got all these regular things for farm production. So when you think of production chain, this is where you have all that stuff. But then you've also got farm supply production, where you can do things like barley seeds. And what barley seeds means is you're making seeds. So it's not like a seeds add-on or anything like that. You've got 1,000 liters of barley in, you get 1,000 liters of seeds out. So instead of having to sell your barley and then buy the seeds, you could simply do it all here. You can also turn chaff into silage. You can do pig feed in here as well. You can dry some grass and turn it into hay. You can take grass and turn it into silage, or hay and turn it into silage even. There's a lot of different things in here, even some TMR. So that is great news there. Inputs are going to range between, around 100,000 liters all the way up to about 2 million liters, depending on the product that you've got, or even digestate, which is 20 million liters. That is absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. The next ones are the placeable filling stations. These are filling stations for seeds, fertilizer, liquid fertilizers, pesticides, all for $100 each. Real easy to find these. They're going to be found in containers. Up here, of course, you have your seeds, and then you have herbicide, liquid fertilizer, and regular fertilizer. So all of that is there. They say pesticides. I think maybe there was an interesting translation error there. Nonetheless, very, very cool. I think one of the only things is maybe it doesn't quite make that much sense which one's which, but I think if you use them enough, you will get the hang of it. For example, the herbicide and the fertilizer have their logos on there, and then this one, though it is solid fertilizer, it is still different from the seeds. So I think you'll be able to get it. Now let's talk about this big old placeable. It's a set of 600,000 liter silos, the grain complex. Oh yeah. It's also got a hull attached to it for 50 meters by 14 meters and a capacity, well, as we mentioned, of 600,000 liters. Is a very, very, very large area through here. So there you go, and we can come right over here, dump what you need, grab what you need. It is all good. Now let's say this. Let's see, swing around to the side. Yeah, it's a little bit interesting because there's no grating or anything like that on the ground. Like you just come over here and you, I guess, dump it on the ground. I guess it's supposed to go in there technically. And then you come over here and grab it out of there. The next one we're going to take a look at today is warehouse. This is for storing potatoes, beets, carrots, parsnips, and beetroot. And one of the nice things is, well, there's a place for everything and everything in its place. So you'll come in here, dump out right there, and then you can come over here and hit the trigger and then load up what you want. 500,000 liter capacity on here, although it says 80,000 liters in the on the mod hub, so I'm not quite sure which one to believe. Also, what's 80,000 divided by, like potatoes, beets, carrots, parsnips, red beets? 80,000 times 5 crops. Is that 400,000 liters, something like that? So it's holding more for sure. And we get little things on the ground too. That's pretty sweet. I do like this. I think it's really neat. It's definitely unique. And you can also change the color and do solar panels and things like that on the top, because at the end of the day, it's just a Horman building. And if you need a place to put the poo, well, then you need this. The Manure Bunker serves as a storage and distribution system for slurry on yo farm. You can store slurry from your barns and other sources and use it later to fertilize fields, etc., etc. 500,000 liter capacity on here. And I'm trying to figure out what they mean by that you can use it as a storage and distribution system. Because as far as I can tell, there is no way to use this as any type of distribution center. Moving along now, we have the garage with a workshop. This costs $72,000. It is found in tools, right where it should be, and we can open up these very, very old, what look to be castle doors. I love that. I think it looks super cool. Inside, we have an insane amount of detail, just absolutely insane. I can't read what those say, but I'm sure they say something. Over here, you can work on your vehicles. You got an awesome set of combine harvesters right here running through. Oil in the back. You got stuff in the middle here. This is more than just a building to put stuff in and work on your stuff. This is a very, very cool, unique, and detailed, highly detailed building with a lot of really cool character to this. From the same modder, we have the grain warehouse. Now, this is not a silo. It is just a shed, but it is nice to be able to come in here and dump things on the ground or do anything like that. So there you go. really not a whole lot to this one. It is nice that we've got a couple different options for doors. So you got one on the side and one on the end down here, depending on how you're coming and going. Next is Shed Pack. These are available with or without the cattle area on the inside. And you've got two different versions. One's got concrete and one has bricks. As for the cattle area itself, if we come over here, 35 head of cattle, and you can do food and straw. So really, this is going to be more for your little baby cows and things like that. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting any kind of productions off of these. No milk, nothing like that. So heads up there. Otherwise, that's about it. Moving on, we have the log sheds, the old log sheds. There are 6 buildings, at least that I've been able to find on here. The mod description isn't extremely detailed, but hey, we've got something. So in here, you've got the hay shed, so you can store stuff there, 120,000 liter capacity. In another area, another hay shed, 150,000 liter capacity, and then a small one for 80,000 liters. Now, we do have customization options for those, but first we'll take a look at some of the sheds that are included with this too. These, of course, are in sheds. Here's a nice version with an awning over the edge and a drive-through setup. And here's one that is much, much larger. Love the animations on the front door, and the sounds are great. And as I mentioned, we do have some customization options. So let's take a look at those. I'm gonna jump in, and we've got silos. So if we click that and we click in customization, we've got props. Now you're probably asking, what in the world are props? Well, you can see in here we've got all kinds of like collectible stuff and hay piles and things like that. So you've got kind of some little things that give it some character. We also have a roof set up here too. So if you wanted to change the roof up, you can do that. Although I'm not really seeing much of a difference between this roof and the one over there, which is totally custom. So no clue there. You also have a prop set up right here for this building. And do we have the one for the smaller one too, this little guy? Tell me we got some props. Nope, no props there. Next up is our old deep well. They call this a water distribution point. However, it doesn't do any distributing into the game, so I don't want to get you guys hopes up or misunderstanding what it does. At the end of the day, you just pull your tank up here and you get some water, and that's about it. It is very cool. It's super old and very unique. The patina on here looks fantastic, but it is not a distributions place. Next, the Placeable Dairy Farm Pack. This includes a couple different things, including a few different little calf igloos and a wheelbarrow. Now, unfortunately, none of them are useful, so it's all placeable. There's actually a cattle pen, the igloo that came out not long ago, so I would rather just get that because you can use it. May only hold one, but you could still use it. However, these are nice for putting down, placeables, making them look cool, things like that. Next to last, we have house in an old Polish style. You can sleep at the front door, and over here, you can change your clothes right by the hay bale and the bicycle, as is tradition. There's a lot of details around this house, I will give it that. However, it still cannot be opened. Let me in. And lastly, we have the small house from BK Mods. This one's interesting because online it says it's supposed to be $10,000, but it's $1 on the mod hub. So hey, if you want a $1 house, now is your time. We'll walk around the outside because there is an inside, which I'm super duper happy for and excited for. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So awesome. So here's your small little cool kitchen. Ooh, coffee. Is that Farmer Cop coffee? That better be Farmer Cop coffee. You've also got your tub, which is nice, and a place to go to the bathroom. A nice little heater right there. Back door. Place to change clothes. Let's see if I can get the trigger to work. There we go. We do have a couch, a little sleepy time bed here, and a little table. Just about everything that you need. Not bad at all. Super cozy. And all for $1. Jumping over to updates for all platforms of the DFM RT3000. This is update 1.1. Rapid Whole Model. Added store names for color configuration options. Added the 3200 model, which is new. And new mod icon. Jumping over to new ones for PC and Mac players. We have the Kraz 6503 2 KPA3. Yeah. This bad boy has got up to 600 horsepower or down to 350 horsepower. It is a dump truck. You do have a setup of 17,000 liter capacity, and it'll go 55 miles an hour. Wheel setups, you can change a few of these if you would like. Kind of give it more of an off-road feel. It's kind of nice. Facing configuration, you got a couple of those too. It's a facing. Is it on the back? Don't tell me it's on the back. Is it on the inside? What's a facing? Please? I don't... Help. All right, moving on. You do have lighting configurations. I know what that means. And then you've got your colors for all your stuff. Next up, we've got kind of like a little construction trailer like you would see in Europe. This is the RCM PK1. Holds 6,000 liters. You can also use this as a Bale trailer if you like. We do have some Midas tires on there standard. However, you can change it up to Trelleborg. And then we've got bumper. Yep or no. We've got your warning triangle. We do also have rear lighting. You've got some different stickers, like a used setup. That looks pretty cool. And of course, lights. No. And of course, colors. Moving on. One of my favorite mods in Farm Sim is back. This is the Bushel Plus mod from BC Bushel Farms. Also, a Kunzi. I probably said that wrong. I'm so sorry. And Yos is on here too. But watch yourself. This is something pretty cool. So in real life, they say the Bushel Plus system is the authentic combine calibration system designed to quantify your harvest loss by determining exactly how accurate your combine is calibrated. Every farmer's goal is to maximize efficiency and to maximize combine losses. In the real world, something like this will give you somewhere between 2 and 10% change in your yields and, help you calibrate things more specifically. Well, in the game, this gives you an automatic 10% bonus when attached to your combine harvester. So we'll grab one of those. We're going to get ourselves a combine because, well, we go for whatever we want. I will also say that you can go through and use your MacDon headers and then utilize the other thing. I don't think you can hook this up to the next set. Maybe, but it will show it off of something right here. So, grab that. I'm going to pull forward, and we're just going to back up and hook that up, and it's going to hook up to the rear hitch. Now, we had this in Farming Simulator 22, so if you had it there, you're good to go. It's going to kind of put it wherever, so you will need to move it around and just kind of put it into way right about there. See, and for me that looks good. Then you can drop the red attachment thing and you're good to go. So just drop it and then get into the field. And that's it. Now you get just 10% bonus with this combine harvester. How cool is that? Next up, we've got the Toolbox from Schulz-Made. Now, this right here is unlike the toolbox that we had in Farming Simulator 22. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to enable super strength and it does nothing. So I think the original idea was to try to have this onto all platforms, but it was only released on PC and Mac today. Maybe we'll see this released on all platforms soon. What this does is it's just a toolbox. You can put it in the back of your truck, carry it around, do what you need to do, but you have to move it with pallet forks. You cannot move it with your hand. You can't use super strength or anything like that. You will be required to pick this up with pallet forks. But for something like this, I definitely recommend if you're going to put this down, maybe place it down outside of a building, outside of a shed or something like that. That way you always know where it is. And whenever you reload your game, it's always going to be found right back where you found it. Next new one for PC and Mac players is the Foremost Smoothwall Hopper Bin Pack from BC Bushel Farms. Bunch of recognizable names today. And here we have 8 Smoothwall Hopper Bin silos. Fill types of wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum, sunflower, soybeans, corn, rice, long grain rice, seeds, fertilizer, and lime. All of these can be found in silos, and they work just like all of your standard silos where you need, well, augers and things like that to do things with. In here, we have capacities which range at the top end, 257,000 liters, which is a lot, all the way down to 114,450 liters. These are nice because it allows you to store things the way that you want 2. Love it, love it, love it. It's here now. Next new one for PC and Mac players is the Exhaust Extension. Now this is showing as version 1001, however, it is a new release. This script adds a realistic smoke particle effect to all vehicles. The intensity depends on the engine load and the following situations: turning on the engine, delimbing or cutting a tree, and the damage value is high. Modders can also overwrite values for their vehicles, like the overall intensity of the smoke or individual factors and thresholds. Next is the VehicleInspector. This shows you the activities of your helpers, players, or in real time in a display box. You can customize the display box and optionally align it. There's visible vehicle information that can be switched on and off, vehicle preview, and much more. Next up, VehicleFruit Hud. This shows you the highest selling price of your loaded goods and the sales station in real time. You can customize the display for optionally showing total capacity, showing best price, open and close prices for better performance, show price trends with price fluctuations, there we go, get some words right, and displays the best 4 sales stations, and much more. Another one from the same modder, you have the AllRound Extension. This is an optional game extension which changes and adjusts real-time, daytime, in-game play years, in-game play days. You also have in-game changing minimap views, information about new special offers in the shop, vehicle sales, and much more. Next to last new one for PC and Mac players is the Sales Plus. This mod modifies the sales system. Discounts now depend on the age and working hours of the equipment. Up to 100 pieces of equipment can now be shown in the sales. You have 50 generated and 50 from multiplayer sales. The likelihood of a sale being generated or created for multiplayer sales has also been increased, and maintenance on vehicles in the sale has already been completed by the dealer, so no repairs are needed after purchase. Repainting is still required though. This is super cool. And your last new one for PC and Mac players today is more pallets. Enhance your Farming Simulator 25 experience with more pallets. The base game limits the number of pallets on your map, but this mod breaks that restriction, allowing for significantly more pallets to be used simultaneously. Perfect for large-scale production setups or multiplayer sessions. More pallets ensures that your farming operation runs smoother with fewer interruptions. Whether you're running a massive warehouse or managing complex supply chains, this mod gives you the freedom to scale your farming ambitions like never before. And lastly, let's take a look at updates for PC and Mac players. The first map is, how do you say this again?
Zacieczki.
Ah, that's right. But what's the translation into English?
Water stains.
That's the one. This is update 1.1. Change vegetation texture for grass and bushes. Fixed missing animal trader icon. And fixed frost on buildings in the village. The next one is the Pallets and Big Bags UA Pack version 1001. Fix the material and replace texture and improved collisions in the Placeable refill station. Your last mod today is an update to the Horse Care Manager. This is version 1.1. The script's working hours were changed to 9 instead of the previous ones, which started around 11, which made it look as if the mod was not working. And that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop a like if you dig, subscribe if you're new, and join the DjGoHam fam. We'll check those notifications. That way you never miss videos in the future. Hope you have an awesome day. Enjoy playing with the mods, and I'll catch you in the next one.